Hi, I'm Pedro from Salt and Light Television, and as you know, on the first Sunday of Advent, we're going to go to Mass. The Mass is not going to change, but some of the words are going to be slightly different because we're going to be implementing the new revision of the Roman Missal. So the words are going to be different, and the music is going to be different. And here in Canada, we have three new musical settings, and I am very privileged to be sitting here next to one of the composers of one of the settings, Father Geoffrey Angeles. How are ya?
I'm fine. I'm great. Thanks.
How do you become a liturgical composer?
Well, not by choice. It just kind of happens. I was a music student before I entered the seminary, before I responded to that call. And I guess having been a music student in piano studies, and you go from practicing 5 hours a day to all of a sudden no practicing. And I guess that musical energy, which was a gift originally, had to channel itself in some way. And one day I just found myself writing music, and it wasn't exactly contrived, but it just kind of happened. And I always kind of wondered when I was studying music, I could sing, and I enjoyed conducting and working with choirs and playing the piano, but I was kind of a jack of all trades, but really a master of nothing, and when you study music, everyone's very concentrated on whatever instrument or what have you. And so I thought I didn't really fit. And I guess in the end, it made sense. God was calling me to use my music in other ways, and not just for performance sake.
So let me ask you this. I think people are so used to, we go to Mass and we sing, but how integral is music in liturgy?
Well, it's so important. In fact, if we did it right, the entire mass would be sung. Actually, the new revision, the new translation has provisions for actually singing everything, including all the readings and such, because really music heightens our language. I just I've been doing these workshops together with Bernadette Gasline, and she spoke of this really interesting thing that music is an oral sacrament. That it's not just we don't we sing it, but also oral, Aural. And she talks about how it unites us, and it enables us to hear our unity. And when we combine that together with the prayers, the prayers of the Mass, our personal prayers and ourselves, then there is something transformational in that dynamic. And well, you taped it, so there's a plug for Bernadette. I think everyone needs to listen to that workshop that she gave for musicians. It's really interesting because music as an oral sacrament will really heighten our prayer and our understanding as church, as an ecclesial community. Yeah.
That's true, actually, and that's why we're in Winnipeg right now for these workshops. And she also said that we cannot see our unity, so the music helps us hear it. So it actually gives us a physical sense. So, in case there's anybody out there that's interested in writing music for Mass or liturgical music, or even, let's say, Christian music, what would be your advice to them?
Well, first of all, I think we have to remember that it all starts with the text. The text is kind of the meat, to use that illusion of food. I love food, Filipino. So, the text is the meat, and the music that kind of puts it all together are the potatoes. You need the starch, you need that energy, you need the carbohydrates to get you going, and the style. Well, that's all the other stuff. But I think when you compose, it should, particularly for the liturgy, it's very different from a personal, reflective song. We have to always bear in mind the purpose of ritual music, that it accompanies a ritual action. And when we accompany a ritual action, when the texts highlight that, then our music changes all of a sudden, because it's not about my own personal spirituality, my own personal style, my own personal whatnot, but it's writing for the service of the greater community, whether you're in rural Manitoba, where I am pastor, or whether you're in the metropolis of Toronto, where you are, and we have to identify, our music needs to really um, identify our communities and the diversity that we have. So if we look to the text and we look at the melody, so long as it it accompanies the ritual, and then it becomes liturgical. I think it's wonderful. God speaks to us in many ways, and our musical expressions of our faith can manifest themselves in many different ways. But we know that sometimes there are personal, spiritual like songs that may not fit maybe the communion rite because it talks about me and my own personal relationship with my God, which is there's nothing bad with that. But then it wouldn't be appropriate for liturgy as such. Exactly, exactly.
Okay, well, there you go. That's all good advice. Father Geoffrey Angeles, he's a priest for the Archdiocese of Winnipeg, serving at a parish in rural Manitoba. He's also composer supreme. So now, when you are singing that Mass setting A, Mass, and it says Mass by Geoffrey Angeles, here he is. It's been great meeting you.
Great to meet you
I'm a
too.
great fan. So thank you very much. I'm Pedro Guevara, man. See you soon.